Well, actually, I mean, we had looked around at a number of different folks. Buying windows is one of those things you kind of, you know, you need to do. It's on the list of things, but there's always economics or things that come into play, whether to decide to do windows or not. You know, we've heard commercials on the radio and that type of thing. My wife had a few folks come out and never really did much, but as we continued to use the windows and there were more and more problems, whether it was the muttons weren't staying on or the windows wouldn't stay shut in the wintertime, you had drafts, whatever, we decided to replace the windows. I ended up meeting Jim and found out that's what he did and had him come through, and he represented the windows that they represent, and they were great windows. He was able to really listen to what we wanted, did the feature benefit, but it was much more than that. You know, there was a couple windows that we had that we've sort of had problems, or always said if we could take out this centerpiece and casement windows and do one big window, we would want to do that. So Jim and Dave actually came through and measured and confirmed that they actually could take that out and replace the casement windows. Now we've got sliders in actually 3 different locations, 2 in the master bath and 1 in the kitchen, which makes a huge difference. So absolutely. I think a lot of it boils down to knowing the product we were going to replace. It amounted to about 41 windows that we replaced. So it was a significant process. We contracted with Jim and the company. That process went very smooth. We met Dave Lemack, who was their installer, and Dave did a fantastic job. He came in through and did the measurements. That was actually before we signed the contract. It was just coming up with exactly what we were looking for in the Simonton windows, and then making sure we had everything priced out correctly. Went through the contract. We heard back from Quality Windows and Doors a couple times with written documentation on the windows, what to expect. We've got all these windows that are going to be taken out, what's going to happen with all that debris, how long it's going to take, and really everything went off very well. If there were any modifications whatsoever with the schedule, they communicated that. We worked to resolution, and really we didn't have any hiccups whatsoever throughout the process. They came in and out. When they took the windows out, I thought there was going to be much more of a mess. It was very clean. They had the drop cloths down, plastic down. They said it was going to be loud. It wasn't even as loud as what I anticipated. I actually sometimes work from my house and was able to do that. The folks that came in and did it were very personable, real easy to work with. I'd say that I would highly recommend them to other folks, and we've had people in the neighborhood that have used them and they've had the same comments, so it's been a very good process. All right. We did shop around. We looked at a number of different organizations, and we probably shopped around for a couple of years, looking at windows. I looked at Consumer Reports, got an idea as to the different features that a window needs to have, some of the good and the bad things, and we went from like a wooden window to plastic window, but the features were there, everything that we were looking for. When it came down to it, there were some other windows that were not to the quality, and they were less expensive. I think what we were looking for in the long term was the value that we were going to get out of that window, the ease of using the window, the quality of having the seals drain appropriately. We really did some homework on the windows and really didn't realize how bad our windows were until we went to replace them and started going through that process. And it's made a world of difference, and I think we absolutely got the value out of the windows and are very happy with the entire process. Well, in all honesty, we have, because when you buy windows, and as I said before, it's that the economics is buying windows. I've got 3 small kids. Do you do those things with them? Where are you going to spend the money? We've seen the value in the windows. We've noticed in the wintertime it's warmer in the house. In the summertime it's cooler. We've seen a difference in the utility bills, probably 10 to 15%. A big difference that we saw was the outside noise. that, you know, we just don't hear a lot of the things that we've heard in the past. And that's better from the outside, but also I've got 3 little kids and I'm married, so the outside doesn't hear what's going on in the inside of the house either. There used to be drafts with the windows, and we're not experiencing that now. Everything's tight. The ease of movement with the windows makes a big deal. We can lower them from the top. I've got full screens on the windows, which I was glad I made that decision as well. But I think overall, I had replaced the HVAC unit a couple of years ago. Now with the windows being replaced, I think it's added tremendous value to the home, and we get a lot of compliments and a lot of inquiries about the windows now that we have replaced them. We did wrap the outside of the windows, and that makes a big deal with the look and the exterior of the house, and long term it's low maintenance, so I'm very happy we did that as well. One of my neighbors had also used Quality Windows and Doors and replaced his windows, and he made the investment into a device to be able to check the temperature of the windows. And he did this both in the summertime and in the wintertime. Tested where the outside temperature was 32 degrees or above 100, and then he tested at the same point on the inside of the window, and it was 68, where the temperature of the house was set at 70. So there was a significant difference in the older windows that we had. We both had the same type of windows. So that in itself is a proof statement, and pays back, you know, with those utility bills. Now that we've replaced the HVAC system and also replaced the windows, I think that the house looks fantastic, is certainly helping us out with the heating and cooling and our utility bills, but also if and when we ever do decide to move or relocate, I know it's going to add value to the house. I think just from the looks on the outside and the completeness of it, and it's a solid window that's going to last for years and years. So I'm very happy we made that investment. Okay. I think taking a look at Quality of Windows and Doors, they certainly provided a variety of different windows, and we're able to find the right window for our home and our needs. You know, I've been through the process before with home remodeling and renovations and that type of thing, so I knew to do my homework. After going through this process, I can honestly recommend Quality Windows and Doors because they made the process very easy from start to finish with picking the windows, educating and listening. I think that's a key, is listening to what you need, and then going through the contractual process, the installation, and the communication afterwards and the follow-up has been fantastic. So buy from Quality Windows and Doors. It's a great place.